Hi there, YouTube. I'm having to do this video in the brightest room in the world, possibly. This is my sister's artwork back here from where her girls used to be in this room. It's my girls' room now because she is in there. I'm going to be talking about things that really wouldn't have her here this young. But this is going to be the first of several videos in a series about trauma. I do have PTSD, and I'm sure that there are tons of people in my family that have PTSD as well. I just had a friend that was actually in a war tell me the other day. He's an older man, so he was in Vietnam. Tell me, oh, everyone. This is my Scott impression. Everyone has trauma. This is just some PTSD is just something that they say that everyone has. I don't want to wreck you with that Scott impression, but it is the way he talks. But I did tell him, yes, everyone on some degree has trauma that has changed them in some way, but not everybody has post-traumatic stress disorder. My disorder started out with a diagnosis of when I was 12 years old. I started taking antidepressants. And from there on out, I just kept getting these diagnoses that pointed towards what was coming in the future, and that was PNES, or psychogenic non-epileptic seizures, because of post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. Because of this, I believe I got the diagnosis of generalized anxiety disorder. I was literally afraid of everything. I don't have a driver's license, and I'm almost 30 years old, and it was probably because of trauma. I'm gonna just generally, in a vague sense, just kind of fill in real quickly some of the traumas that I've experienced that may have led me, or most likely led me, to post-traumatic stress disorder, which, Scott, is not something that everyone has. And it's not something that just soldiers have either. In life, we all have to fight this war, and I'm not in no way saying that soldiers don't go through terrible traumatic events, things that I could never imagine in my life. I have another friend that was in Vietnam that actually had to protect himself by, there's no easy way to put this, by killing women and children who were coming at him. Anyone who's familiar with the Vietnam War or any other war knows that sometimes children will be used. But off that subject quickly, I asked him one day if he ever dealt with depression, which is something that comes along with PTSD. Every time I know about PTSD, there comes depression. Every person I know that has it deals with depression and anxiety. It's kind of what PTSD is all about. It's about these traumatic events we just can't seem to let go of. And I've been to counselor, psychologist, and board certified therapist, and talked to my family about it, and friends and boyfriend, and just my whole life I've been recounting these events, but they never seem to bear any less weight on me by, venting or, kind of letting these things off my shoulders. Didn't seem to do any good to make them not be in my memory anymore. But of course I'll have these memories forever, but the thing about PTSD is these memories haunt me on a daily basis and an hourly basis. I'm constantly recalling, even, something will begin a small talk and a conversation with somebody I've never met, and then I'm telling them about how this terrible thing happened to me. And I don't feel like a victim. I feel like a person who just can't get over this shit. Okay? I feel like a person who is going to be trying to get over this until I die, and I never would have gotten over it. There's a difference between forgetting about something, which we can't do. We can't forget. If your grandmother or your mother or you've lost someone that's very close to you, every time you look back on that memory of that person, you're going to feel the heartache from losing them. Even if you're talking about something good that happened, they say, remember the good things. Then you're going to remember that they're gone and that it hurts you. And that is trauma. Death creates trauma. So if you've lost many people in your life that you're very close to, you do have a certain amount of trauma. A psychologist said, and I agree with her completely, that we're like sponges when it comes to trauma. That every traumatic event, whether it be a car wreck or someone hits you at school, being picked on over and over and over again, these things, losing a loved one, being in a house fire, watching your house burn down, these are all things that create trauma. We're like a sponge. Even if we don't get hit by that car or that 18-wheeler, that truck that's coming for us and we almost get hit, that's a traumatic event. That is enough to just scare you to death.